I think we always called it pot in the old days.
The plant with many names.
Unless you had that conservative friend over from school and then they were tomatoes.
Yeah. What's that in your garden? Tomatoes.
These are very sticky and stinky tomatoes.
And here's our squash plants.
That's right. And if you think it's a code word, well, you're right. So, we actually have some organizations represented here right now, and I'd like to the Chamber of Commerce, Better Business, the largest membership cannabis trade association here,
Humboldt County Growers Alliance.
That's right. Thank you. I told you I'm really bad at names.
We have two chambers of commerce here.
And right. So I'd like your perspective. Okay. I mean, is the support of the chambers something that recently came up, or has it been with us all along?
No, there was a time, because we are membership driven, there was a time when before we could take on our first cannabis membership, that we actually had to put it out to our members to take the pulse and of how they felt. And so there was a time when we couldn't accept cannabis as chamber members, but that has changed, and I'm glad that that's changed. I'm glad as a Chamber of Commerce we're able to welcome in, whether it's a farmer, it's a micro business, it's a brand, welcome them in to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce and help support them as a business entity within our community. So I'm really glad that there's been a shift in the perception of cannabis farmers, manufacturers. I'm really happy to welcome them into the Southern Humboldt Chamber of Commerce and lend that support and help lend a voice to them.
Well, and Yvonne has given cannabis farmers a chance to normalize it also by inviting. I've been invited to speak at a chamber mixer, and it was a great opportunity just to do a meet and greet and normalize it. I mean, it was at the hospital. It was, all business owners all through the county or the Southern Humboldt County were there, and it was a really great opportunity, and we had a really good time doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, we had them as our program at the Southern Humboldt Hospital. And it was really nice to pass around product, herb, and to let people who don't smoke, maybe never held it in their hand, to smell it, to experience all these different strains. I think you guys brought in 7 or 8, and it was wonderful to pass it around. And that was great. We had some of our older board members there and older community members there, and they just really enjoyed it. And it was nice to share it and normalize it, like you said.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, I love hearing that because it's been a somewhat similar situation in Willow Creek. We had in Willow Creek, the first green rush was the timber industry. And then the second green rush was, of course, the cannabis industry. And we're really fortunate in Willow Creek that a lot of our leaders in our community happen to be in the cannabis industry. Actually, Hannah's husband is also, he's the vice president for our Chamber of Commerce. We both serve on our community services district board. I'm really active with the Bigfoot Museum as well, just as a volunteer. So we're really seeing a shift as well in our community where we're just people in the community now. We're just like every other business person, and we're so happy that that's the way it is now. So I'm really glad to hear that it's happening all over the county that way.
Yes.
So I just wanted to jump in and say thank you to all of the chambers of commerce around the county, because when we had to build the campaign for No on Measure A, Willow Creek, McKinleyville, Arcata, Eureka, Southern Humboldt, Chambers of Commerce really came to bat. And that is part of this overall goal, which is just normalizing weed in Humboldt County, which I know sounds ironic. Like, weed is part of the cultural fabric of Humboldt, but somehow it's not been normalized. And we've all been working on this for the last 8 years, and it takes time. Mm-hmm. And, as we're talking about normalization, I am going to just mention one more campaign for people, which is in the fall, the Board of Supervisors are again going to be considering what they want to do with the cannabis cultivation tax, Measure S. And we are asking our board to normalize cannabis and treat it just like all other businesses, and do not put this extraordinary tax on one type of business that no other business has to pay. And so in October, we're going to be going back and saying, suspend this again, 100%, and then go to the voters in 2026 and fully repeal this. Enough is enough. We need to be done.
Here, here.
Is that kind of a hard pull for the county, because people have already spent money on the Measure S, people, because they demanded the money.
Well, so the county has already received almost $60 million in cultivation taxes from our community between 2017 and 2020. Now, it went into the general fund. ... It's been spent where it went, you know, as it is. But I will just say, like, the total amount, like if we have 300 acres of cultivation in county next year, and even at the tax rate, what it amounts to is 0.2% of the county's overall budget. We're talking about a margin of error for the county's overall budget, but this is make or break for real people, real farms, real families. So let's just be done. We're going to need people to show up at the supervisors in October. Tell your friends.
Yeah, and the people who may still owe that tax, they're relying on grant funding right now to pay their back taxes, because the money's just not there on the farm level. So, yeah.
Oh, it's most definitely not there. And you're going to be sure to give the show a heads up so we can alert county residents to get up and participate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that participation, you know, that's like, we say it on the show a lot, but that's key. If you're not actually in the trenches, so to speak, then you're not there, right? And I'd like everybody to at least keep that in mind, you know. And if you're unsure what you should be doing, then just reach out and talk to one of these ladies, and they'll tell you what you should be doing. Okay.
I'll guide you on your journey.
They sign you up to volunteer for something.
Yeah.
We all have plenty of volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, hcga.co to get involved.
Barberville.org for the Southern Humboldt Chamber of Commerce.
WillowCreekChamber.com.
GreenOxInc.com. You could follow Skyline Farms on Instagram. It's pretty easy to find us.
Well, we've got a website, EmeraldQueenFarms.com.
Thank you very much. We'll be back with some more interviews. I'm tempted just to drag these ladies back here, but we'll be looking for some other folks. And if you'd like to get involved, you just come on by the KMUD booth. You know, it's a consumption lounge, isn't it?
It's a consumption event.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.